of Stevens Point Transportation Commission meeting, recorded August 10, 2020.
All right. Well, then we'll call the meeting and start off with the first agenda topic, which is roll call.
Tom, you might be on mute.
Sorry, I do have everybody already on the list, but do you want me to run through the names? For the roll call, the only one I see that's not on is Greg Kopel. Is that correct?
Might as well run through them for the record.
Run through them, okay. If I mess up the last names, I apologize. Nicole, is it Lesney?
Yes, you got that right.
Okay. Carolyn Peterson?
Yeah.
Mary Kneebone?
Here.
And Thomas Leake?
Here.
Tom Bertram?
Present.
Fred Hoffesberger?
Here.
Greg Kopel? I don't believe he's here. And I believe that's everybody on the list. I have Joel Lemke, me, Tom Carroll, and I believe also another AM supervisor is here. Talon Shireman is also attending.
Okay.
Okay. I believe that's everybody on the list.
Okay. Thanks. We'll move to agenda topic number 2, approval of the July 13 Transportation Commission meeting minutes.
I'd move to approve the July minutes of transportation meeting.
I'll second. This is Carolyn.
Okay, so we have a motion by Fred and a second by Carolyn. Any further discussion or questions?
Not that. I just want to say hi, Greg. Hello.
I did catch that. I see Greg's here as well. Okay, I'll add him to the roll call.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing no questions or conversation about the minutes, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move to agenda item 3, which is approval of the July 2020 financial claims report.
I'd move to approve the July transportation financial report.
Tom Bertram will second.
Okay, so we have a motion.
I actually have a quick question. I noticed there was a layoff due to COVID. Is that somebody who's had to leave to be quarantined and can come back, or is that somebody who's gone permanently?
That is an individual who has right now did not leave due to COVID. It was just right now we have just laid off the individual because of the lack of work for that position.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have a motion by Fred and a second by Bertram. Any further questions or discussions? Okay, hearing none, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. So we'll go to agenda item number 4, which is approval of the 2021 mobility management and volunteer driver operating budgets. So did Susan give you any direction on talking with us about this?
She gave me a little bit.
Okay.
As far as, but I mean, I get, what questions do you have?
Nicole, if you'd like, I can jump in just briefly. When it comes to the specifics of the operating and the programs, of course, Tom can fill you in there. But this, several of you might recall, is a pretty frequent item. And it's simply because we need action from our governing body to apply for the funding that applies to these programs. So it's an essential part of what we do, and it's a repetitive type motion.
So it looks like the expense would be $204,868, and the local match is $42,000. So does anyone have, oh, no, that's the in-kind, right?
Total local match looks like it's 42,000.
Right.
This is Tallinn here. That's local match. So it's 42,000 of in-kind funds. So it's $42,000 worth of advertising on our buses that we're providing. So there's not actually a cash cost to the city, just advertising on our buses.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions before we make a motion? Okay, doesn't sound like we have any questions, so we'll need a motion.
Alder Kneebone here. I'll move to approve the budget. How it's stated in the agenda, mobility. I have to pull it up on my phone. The mobility management budget.
Fred Hufsberger, second.
Okay, so a motion by Mary and a second by Fred. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, then we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, agenda topic number 5, approval to move forward with the federal 5310 grant application for the mobility management program and the volunteer driver program.
To give a little insight as well, it's kind of the same thing as we just had with mobility management and volunteer driver operating budget. If you go down to the local match, because that's typically the important part of it, it appears as if there's a cash match of $8,792, but that is covered by another funding source, which is the 8521. So in the end, the local share is then covered. So we're able to cover it because the in-kind match is $116,000. And then with the the difference between the total local match of the 124 and the minus 116 comes to the 8792, which is covered by another funding source, the 8521. So that takes it back down to zero as far as a local cost.
Tom, how is this with the total revenue? seeing we haven't been charging any fees, is that gonna make any effect, especially with the university and everything?
The university had paid the fees. We were not getting any, we have had, so the university did pay the cost for the bus service, even though we did reduce the service for the university. As far as the revenues that we've been generating on a fixed, we have cut the fixed route as far as generating revenue, but we're looking at, there's a CARES Act out there that we're looking later on as far as recouping that revenue. So right now, that's how we've been covering, dealing with the situation. So for the most part, we're operating as normal. Other than fixed route is running, we are not accepting fares for the fixed route to generate revenue, but we are generating it. We were able to get it through the campus, and I see campus is starting back up here again in September, and they are covering the cost again through the end of the semester.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Carolyn. I move to approve. Do you need me to say what I approve? What do I approve? the operating budget.
Second.
I think we did that. I think we're on, aren't we doing the move forward with the federal grant?
Yes, this is a 5310.
But that's what it says, the operating budget.
This is a volunteer driver program.
This is?
It looks like that's what it is. Operating assistance application.
It doesn't say what it is.
Item 5, correct?
Yeah.
Approval to move forward with a federal 5310 grant application for the
Mhm.
mobility management program and the volunteer driver program. That's what we're on.
Yeah. And this has the same numbers that Tom was saying. So, move to approve that.
I'll second. Alder
Thank you.
Nebone seconds.
Number 5.
Nicole, you're on mute.
And it's only our first meeting tonight.
Thanks, Tom. Okay, so we have a motion by Carolyn and a second by Mary for approval to move forward with the federal 5310 grant application. Any further discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Move to agenda topic number 6, approval to reinstate fares beginning September 1, 2020. So Joel or Tom, you want to talk about why we're talking about September 1st?
Yes, one of the reasons we chose September 1st as an option was that the university was starting back up here as of September 2nd, and they are starting to pay the fare at that time. So that was one of the considerations for the fare. For another consideration was that most of the transit systems across the state have already reinstated the fare collection. We're a little bit behind some of the systems. They've done it in July and August, and so we feel like we should look into that as well. So, and we didn't really want to start charging the university and then not have have free fares as far as for the rest of the community on the fixed route buses. So we thought it was a good time to incorporate it into the system as of September 1.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Any questions from the
Well, I just
commission?
have a question. How are you like dealing with the whole you're transferring the germs or whatever to people, then they're transferring them to the driver?
I'm sorry, Carolyn, you were talking about transferring the germs. What was the question?
Well, how are you dealing? I mean, isn't there still that risk of transferring the germs?
Yeah, yes, there is. There's still the risk of transferring germs. Right now, what we're trying to, we've taken several precautions to help assist in this, to make it easier we're trying to go to more of a touchless system. So right now we're doing our monthly passes for our fixed route and they're touchless. So the drivers just have to look at them. They do not have to physically touch them. So there is no contact there. We're introducing a punch pass. We call it a ticket instead of a punch pass. Prior we were offering 10 ride punch passes. So they would actually physically hand it to the driver and the driver will use a punch to punch out a hole in the pass. We've eliminated that and we're starting up with tickets. They're kind of they're like a raffle ticket. They're about 2 inches by 2 inches in length and width there. So the passenger could come on, show the driver the ticket, and then place it in the fare box. So once again, we're going to contact. There is no contact there, so we're addressing that. And then, of course, with the cash, they can put it right into the fare box. So ideally, there isn't any contact right now between the driver and the passenger other than a driver handing a passenger a transfer. So that is a transfer slip that we do currently still do as far as the driver and a passenger interacting. But outside of that, we have masks on the bus to help with individuals who come on and don't use the mask, are not prepared for it and don't have a mask on hand. So we are providing masks. We do have sanitizer and available for the drivers and masks and face shields also available. So we've been trying to take a lot of extra precautions. But ideally with the September 1, introducing the reinstating the fares doesn't really put us at any more of a risk, I feel, than right now just having passengers coming on and off the bus.
Okay. Sounds good. Then I move to approve the reinstating the fares. Did Spinarity move? Sorry. If they did, then I'll second if they already did.
So I think, Carolyn, you made the motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Yeah, we have a second.
Okay, so motion by Carolyn and a second by Fred. Any questions from the commission or further discussion?
I think I have a question. I know we're putting in a physical barrier in the buses, retrofitting those. When will they be online? Do you know, Tom?
Yes, we're expecting those 10 to 12 weeks. The order was actually the official order went into effect last week, and at that point in time, they said it was going to be 10 to 12 weeks as far as the timeline. So I'm anticipating us to get it sometime towards the end of October. I would expect them definitely before the beginning of November. Based on that, they're set up to fit perfectly on the buses. It shouldn't take long to install them for the mechanics. So the hardware and everything that comes with it should be rather quick for us to install the barriers once we get them on hand. But sometime in October is when I'm anticipating them to arrive.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll take the motion to vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Hey,
Okay, those opposed? Okay, motion carried. All right, next agenda topic is the next meeting date. So looks like we would meet September 14th, Monday, September 14th at 4:45. Okay,
Sounds good.
and that takes us to agenda topic number 8, which is adjournment. Thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom,
You
for
bet.
sitting in for Susan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Nicole.
Videos of these meetings are available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.